Hi everyone, and welcome to the second episode of the pre-departure series for Nonstop Nick Hill. I've got the day off today, and I'm here in Seattle at the UW Arboretum. It's one of my most favorite places to spend some time when I've got the day off. And so I figured I would kind of like take a walk here and also tell you a little bit more about what I'm planning on doing here with Nonstop Nick Hill. It's actually an extremely nice day today by Seattle standards for October. We've been having a bit of an unusually warm fall here, so it's mid-October, but it's about 60 degrees today. It was in the high 70s, low 80s yesterday. I've got to say, the green spaces in Seattle are one of my favorite things about the city. I'm really going to miss that, especially because I know that on my itinerary there's some places that aren't very green. With under 2 weeks left before I depart, I figured I'd let you know a little bit more about why I'm starting Nonstop Nick Hill. There are already so many travel content creators out there. It can feel like the field is a bit saturated. However, I've realized that there really aren't many people of color, and especially South Asian Americans, in the online travel landscape. I don't watch a lot of travel vlogs, and I realized that's partly because I don't see a lot of people who look like me traveling. A lot of the content that I see online that are travel vlogs are pretty cringy, or they contain clickbaity titles, or just overall feature people who go with overgeneralizations, aren't pretty informed in the cultural, historical, and political contexts that shape how a part of the world has developed into what it is now, and are really not even familiar with the colonial legacies that have made the world what it is today. And with that, I'm a strong believer that if you want something done well, you have to do it yourself. And if I want somebody to represent me in the online traveler space, I might as well do it myself. And what better time to do that than when you are traveling full time for at least 6 months? It's really an incredible opportunity to share with you exactly where I'm going, the people I'm going to meet, the places I'm going to visit, the things I'm going to feel, and the raw ups and downs that is the experience of traveling full time. Not having a consistent home, not having consistent access to the friends, the people you know, the grocery store where you buy your groceries, and anything that's really familiar to you. One of the main themes I found when I read other people's experience online when they quit their job, leave their current lifestyle and go travel full time is just a sense of constant alienation, isolation, a lack of a community. And I was thinking about how I could counter that. And so this platform is really a great way that I can, on a consistent basis, keep you up to date with my travels, as well as feel like there's a conversation that's ongoing, that when I come home, you guys know what I've been through, what I've seen, where I've been, all of that. And so I can continue that conversation with my friends and family, and as well as the new friends and my online family that I will make through YouTube. Another reason why I'm pursuing Nonstop Nick Hill as a platform is to really force myself to be in the moment, be cognizant of all the details that are going around me, the different things I see, I hear, I smell, being able to vocalize that, acknowledging what the different settings are like, and really having a memoir to store those sensory memories. I find that when I travel for a long amount of time, there are just so many things that are so different from where we come from and what we're used to. But when you're just surrounded by it for like a week or 2 weeks, or even less than that, you just accept that as being the routine, the default, and you don't really appreciate it. And I think when I have to speak it out loud and vocalize what I'm seeing for you, the audience, that means I'm going to be way more intentional about recognizing these things, noticing the small things around me, and really taking some joy from them. I'm really hoping to find an audience in the South Asian community for my Nonstop Nick Hill travel vlogs. One reason for this is that I really think there are a lot of South Asians out there who have a lot of money, want to travel, but really don't. Or they travel, but travel to very traditional destinations, sort of like package trips, be it bachelorette parties, travel for weddings, or travel to Europe. Or they just go to their families' hometowns, be it in India, Pakistan, wherever that may be. And even when they do travel to India or Pakistan, they don't really travel on their own or traveling to the cities outside of where their family is located. I'm sure I'm going to get to this in some of the later legs of my trip when I go to India myself, but I would really like to show people that there are just like small things you can do to make a trip turn into some really memorable independent travel that you'll remember for the rest of your life. It's really amazing how many children of immigrants, and I know especially like the South Asian community, do not enjoy traveling to their parents' home countries. And I think that's only because they don't approach it as if they would approach a trip to any other part of the world. Be it if they're going on vacation to Mexico or a more cultural trip to Italy or France. Why not approach it with the same mentality and same strategy that you would in any of those other cases? What it comes down to when you're traveling anywhere in the world is really ownership. You need to think about what you want out of that trip, and chances are those opportunities and those experiences exist. And that's what I'm going to show you over the course of the next few months. I'm going to go to some places where most people don't travel to, but there's a lot to do, there's a lot to see. It's not going to come packaged for you, but that doesn't mean it's not worth exploring. Now, if you don't know me, or maybe even if you do, you might be wondering what exactly qualifies me to be giving out travel advice on this platform. I've spent the past 10 years traveling heavily around really interesting regions such as the Middle East, South Asia, East Asia, Latin America. And in all these experiences, there are places where I speak the languages. I speak French, Arabic, Hindi, Urdu. I can get by in some other languages. And I think there really is some privilege in being brown when you travel. It's not the kind of white privilege that you get when people just harken back to the colonial legacy of welcoming white people with colonial hospitality. But it's that privilege to be able to wander undetected and sort of really fit in wherever you are. There really is an almost colonial legacy to the experiences of white people when they travel to a lot of the global south, and that's what we see when it's mostly white travel vloggers posting the content. That really doesn't mirror my expectations and my experiences, so why would I watch it? I'm really hoping that through Nonstop Nikhil, you get a sense of the world and travels as a South Asian American might see it. I definitely acknowledge that I have a lot of privilege myself. I hold a US passport. I've been born in the US. English is my main language that I feel comfortable in. Traveling solo is another big part of my travel philosophy. It lets me travel without compromise. I can be where I want, do what I want, spend as long as I want to spend somewhere without having to discuss with the travel companion. It also helps me meet more people when I travel, because you as a traveler, you are the unknown, and you seem less intimidating to local people if they want to talk to you, make conversation, or just, figure out what your story is. And especially because I speak quite a few languages when traveling, that really helps me make better connections with people. I'm only one person, so I might get invited to someone's home, or to go hang out with their friends or meet their family. And that's really some of the most endearing and enriching experiences you can have when you travel. Just because I travel solo definitely doesn't mean that I spend a lot of time alone. I even meet a ton of other travelers. And there's just something to be said about the interesting people who are out there, if you're in Uzbekistan or Afghanistan or Peru. The fellow solo travelers that you meet are probably some of the more interesting people that you can ever meet in your life. Everyone has a story. Everyone wants to talk about where they've been, where they're going, why they decided to leave the mundane nature of their daily lives. So we're currently walking under this bridge to kind of get to an island. I guess it's called Foster Island, that actually sits kind of in between the two peninsulas in Seattle. So this is pretty much south of the University of Washington and just north of Capitol Hill. This proximity to the water on all sides of the city is definitely something I'm going to miss when I leave Seattle. It's incredible. Pretty much anywhere you walk, it's about 30 minutes from my place. Any direction, you're going to reach water. And it's beautiful on a day like this, 60, 65 degrees. It's October, but it doesn't feel like it at all. And so my main reason for starting Nonstop Nikhil is actually a pretty simple one, and that is to tell a story. And this isn't really something that's new for me. It's actually a continuation of what I've been doing all along. Whether I was an Arabic linguist focusing on militant groups, or working at an AI company on ongoing current events, or even working on my master's degree in data science and data analytics. I've really focused and been driven by telling stories to help explain difficult situations. And that's really what I want to do with Nonstop Nick Hill. That's what traveling is about, and that's what travel vlogging is about. My hope is that the narrative that I convey to you all will not be the dominant narrative. It will not be the narrative that you've heard in mainstream media. Rather, it will be the narrative through my eyes, and hopefully the narrative of the people who I will be meeting. The confidence and comfort that I've gained regarding travel has really been through trial and error. And I want to use this platform as a way to communicate and democratize some of those tidbits of information for everyone else who also plans their own travel, whether it's solo, whether it's in a group, whether it's to some of the destinations that I visit, or even just somewhere not far from home. I really hope that there's something that you all can gain. Thank you all for watching episode 2 of our pre-departure series for Nonstop Nick Hill. I think episode 3 is going to be my packing video, showing you exactly how I'm going to pack for over 6 months of travel, and that is all carry on. So really hoping you guys check out that video next. Until then, I will see you later. Oh, and I almost forgot, if anything in this video resonated with you or sounds like something you're interested in, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and share with your friends. I'm really hoping that this is something that draws in a community and you all enjoy. Bye.